Hey lovelies, welcome back. I can't believe I'm entering my last year of university. It feels crazy to even say. Today I thought I'd bring you along as I organize and prep for my classes, set up my schedule, and get everything ready for the new school year. If you're starting school soon too, grab a coffee, let's sit down and let's start prepping and organizing. If you are new here, my name is Sarah. I hope you stick around and hit that subscribe button. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoy it, and comment below this emoji. If you guys are interested, I made other videos last year. I did like a full back to school shopping spree, and basically that set me up so well that I didn't even really need to buy anything for this year. I will be showing you guys everything I'm gonna for sure be using and bringing for school. I mainly use my laptop and iPad for school, and last year I remember I bought like a big pack of pens and pencils, so I didn't really need to buy anything this year because I still have so much of it on my desk. But basically I have like this little pouch, and in here I have literally all the sticky notes I got last year. So many pens and highlighters. I mainly use this for like my Bible studying notes. I don't even use it for school, but it's always good to have some extra like pens, pencils, sticky notes, things like that, just in case you ever need it for like handwritten exams and assignments. Sometimes professors want you to have like pens or pencils. Now, obviously my most practical thing is my laptop. I use this for literally everything. For my classes, my professors mainly have everything on our Brightspace. Some other universities use like Canva, other platforms where they basically organize all their classes. In this video, you guys will see later on, I do end up setting up my Notion and Google Calendar. I was debating between using a Google Calendar or like Apple Calendar. You can literally sync your Google Calendar to your Apple Calendar anyway. So I will be sharing with you guys like how mine looks like. And then of course my iPad. I love how you can use like the Apple Pencil. So basically I handwrite all my notes. I use GoodNotes. Notability and GoodNotes are two of the most popular note-taking apps for university students or even like high school students, I think. It's not that one is better than the other. I think it just depends on like how you like to organize your classes. Like it just depends on like your preference. I also use Vital Source to get my textbooks all online. And then of course I'm going to be bringing my laptop case for my laptop. I didn't get the Apple keyboard because, to be honest, you can find more affordable options on Amazon, and that's exactly what I did. It looks exactly like the Apple keyboard. This is basically for my tablet. So basically when I go to school, I just bring my iPad and my keyboard and I put it in my little tote bag. It's small, so it literally fits in my tote bag. I can bring it in a purse. I don't have to bring a full-on backpack, so I just leave my laptop at home. Then I recently bought this notebook. It's on my Amazon storefront, I believe, and I talked about it in my last video. This is a little daily to-do list notebook. I have timestamps, an overall to-do list, top 3 priorities of the day. You can circle like the day of the week, any emails you have to follow up with, and then you have like a little like notes and planning side here. I think it actually helps me stay productive and on top of things. And of course, the 5-minute journal. I bought this last year. It's starting to get so dirty and I'm so upset about it. I try so hard to take care of it. I barely even move it around. But anyways, I like implementing this during the school year as my little morning routine because it just keeps me thinking happy thoughts. Say just like practicing gratitude, especially for like back to school season. It keeps me sane when it gets very busy and stressful during the school year. And I also bought this notebook last year. It's not fully used up and I don't want to like waste paper by just getting a new notebook just to get a new notebook. I'm gonna keep it for like this school year too. For one of my classes, we had to do like collages. Also, I used it to help me study for like one of my midterms that there was a lot of like definitions I needed to memorize. I used it for my final exam, like a little study guide, which also helped me a lot. And then I still have like a good amount of the notebook still left. I have my little pencil pouch, which I keep like my pencils, my pens, some highlighters for like when I have to write anything, and my handy dandy bag. This is my bag that I'm going to be bringing for school. I decided to invest in the Longchamp bag last year. This is the black one and I love it. I feel like it's so elegant and it's so beautiful, and I feel like I could wear this even when I have my big girl job, like after university. And then last year I also made a little emergency kit, which I made a TikTok video on this and it actually went viral. Basically in here I keep like pads, tampons, Tylenol, Advil. I have like a little hand cream, some chapstick, some hair elastic, a little mini perfume, and a little Tide to Go stick. I also have like a little mini hairbrush that I have it in my other purse right now, but I will be putting it in here. If like you're at school all day, if you're in high school, I totally recommend this because you're literally at school all day long. Also like a mini deodorant would be helpful to have in there too. But yeah, it's nice to have a little emergency kit because you never know when you're gonna need something. But anyways, that's everything that I'm gonna be bringing for school. I need to figure out my school schedule and how that's gonna work out with like having a part-time job and trying to balance YouTube. Let's check our school schedule. Mondays, I don't have any classes. I'm so happy about that. I can like have a day to like focus on like studying, or I could take it as a day to work. I'm not sure yet. Tuesday, we have quantitative methods in communications from 11:30 to 12:50. And then I have a philosophy course from 2:30 to 3:50. And then at 7 p.m. I have business and society course from 7 to 9:50. But then Wednesday, I'll only have qualitative methods from 8:30 a.m. to 11:20. So that's a 3-hour lecture in the morning. But also like I don't mind that because then I'll have like the rest of Wednesday off because that's the only class I have on Wednesday. I don't have any classes on Thursday. And then Friday I have quantitative methods again from 1 to 2, and then philosophy again from 4 to 5:20. I'm debating if I give my job like 4 days availability or if I should just keep it to 3 days availability. Want to focus on my classes. And I also want to have time to edit and make videos because I really want to like take this seriously. But anyways, I think that's like pretty much everything that I have planned. I think that's how I'll leave it for now. As you can tell, it's nighttime and I'm doing this really late. I've been wanting to just change up how I organize my schedule and things like that. And I've been seeing all over Pinterest people using the Apple Calendar or Google Calendar, and people have been using like the cutest aesthetic like color palettes for like each thing, and like they time block like every day and they have it all organized through there. I personally love to use Notion. I use it for like literally everything. I use it to financially organize my life. I use it for school. I use it to keep track of my grades. I use it as like a weekly and monthly calendar. I do like to use pen and paper. I feel like my methods are constantly changing and it just depends on like what is working for me best in like a certain seasons of my life. Sometimes I'm all on board using Notion and I'm constantly using it for everything to organize everything. But then other times like I almost like get bored of like that system. So then I feel like I need to use a physical planner, and then I just love crossing things off, highlighting, writing to-do lists. Like it's so satisfying to also like write it on just paper. I have this notebook as well. This is called like Notes and Plans, and I've talked about it before. It's on my Amazon storefront if you guys are interested. But basically this is a daily planner. I'm feeling very inspired right now to organize the Apple Calendar or the Google Calendar. I want to look into it right now that it's nighttime. I have my iPad here with me. I also want to change like the wallpaper on my iPad too for like back to school. I feel like changing up your wallpaper, setting up like a new layout, a new setup for like your iPad or your laptop or whatever it is that you use for school is like my favorite way to like start a new fresh school year. Let's get into it. I'm gonna look for inspo on Pinterest and see like what I want to do and how I want to use like Google Calendar, and I'm also gonna see if I can find like a cute new wallpaper to use. So let's do that. Okay, so I'm thinking Google Calendar is the way to go because like I said, I already have everything on Notion and it's like linked to like my email that I use like for Google. So I think that makes the most sense to just use that so that it all kind of is in the same place. Anyways, I'm gonna try to set it up now, so I'll talk to you soon. So it's the next day. I wanted to show you guys how my Google Calendar and Notion and all that is set up because I didn't really get to show you guys and I was working on it like all of last night. So first of all, here's my iPad. This is what she's looking like. I changed the cover for something more simple. I decided to add the little widget of Google Calendar right here. It looks so good. I was able to download like Google Calendar on my phone and on my iPad, so it syncs up with my Apple Calendar. This is what Google Calendar looks like on my iPad. I don't really like the background of it. I don't know how to get rid of it, but I don't like it. But every month like it changes like the background. On my iPad I can still have access to it if I'm on my iPad for school, which I most likely will be. If you guys are interested in like finding really cute and aesthetic color codes to use for your Google Calendar, I actually found so many on TikTok and on Pinterest. I literally just put like Google Calendar color codes and people have like so many cute like colors that go well together, like depending on your aesthetic and how you want it to look. Like for example, I was able to find this like color palette to help me pick and choose colors that fit well with it. I've seen a lot of videos like this where there's like multiple color shades and like a little view of what it would look like on your Google Calendar on TikTok. So I love how people do that because then you can really get a feel for like how you want it to look and the kind of aesthetic you want to have. So I was able to get Google Calendar and my Notion pinned on my Google Chrome. So every time I open it up, I can see it like at the top here. So this is my Google Calendar. As you can see, it looks so much more aesthetic and so much prettier on the laptop. Like I just love how it looks. I have work, my courses, appointments, birthdays, content creation. So days where I know I'm going to be planning or filming or editing, it's going to be this color. Faith, so every time I'm doing Bible studying or going to church. Again, like another course code. Routine, so if I'm doing like my morning routine, my night routine, or anything that has anything to do with like my routine in general, like if I want to have like a self-care night or something, I'll put it under that color. I also wanted studying to be like its own separate thing, like its own color. And then we have tasks, which I use like this dusty blue. And then workout, I also wanted it to be its own separate color. So on days where I know I want to work out, I'll have that there. This is gonna be like my class schedule when school actually starts. And then this is my Notion. I decided to completely restart it and completely redo it. I basically got my cover page off of Canva. I just used like a color code that I thought was really pretty, like this pinky color, and I just put the year, and I used these cute like symbols that I just got off of Google, and I put like homepage. I have a cute little verse here that reminds me that whatever I do, to work with all my heart and work for the Lord and not for earthly things. We're doing everything for the glory of God. So this is what it looks like when I embedded the Notion calendar. So if I were to search up like Notion calendar, it's its own thing, as you can see. So you can like get it for free and you can have it here. And basically what I did is I just copied the link, put it in here, and then I just embedded it and it just popped up on here. So that's basically how I did that. So then I downloaded, I was really lazy. I just downloaded templates from other people and then I changed it up and I got rid of things that I know I wasn't gonna use. For this template, there was so many things like here and like on this side too, and I basically got rid of it and kept it with just this. And within each course, I decided to keep like exam and midterm prep. And then I decided to add this grade calculator. So if I ever need like another course, I can literally just duplicate it. This is like a little to-do list, which is gonna be nice to have because that way I can keep track of like assignments and things I need to do. I also have Spotify here set up. I like how it already came with this Pomodoro timer. And obviously here, assignments and exam schedule. I think I'm just gonna input everything else on my syllabus when I get it. So everything for each course, what the assignment is, when it's due, and what kind of task it is. So you can put like, it's like a project, and it's an event, it's a quiz, and it's an exam. I just wanted to show you guys like my full organization of how I'm gonna be doing things this year. But yeah, anyways, let's move on with the next part of the video. Now I want to check like my syllabus for each class and start organizing everything and start making like folders for each of my classes on the GoodNotes app. So I made folders for all my classes on the GoodNotes app, and only 2 of my classes have the syllabus out, even though tomorrow is my first day of classes and I can't see the syllabus and I'm not going to be able to see it until tomorrow. But on a good note though, one of my classes is virtual, which is going to be amazing because that class is actually like from 7 p.m. until like 10. It's like a really late 3-hour lecture. So I'm really happy that it's going to be online so that I don't actually have to go to school. I'll just have to go to class that day for 2 of my classes, and then that last class I can just do it at home. I'm gonna be putting all my assignments, things like that, onto my Notion template that I have for my academics. As you guys already saw how I prepped my Notion template for school, I'm basically gonna go in and title all the classes, put down like all the assignments that I have for it, tests, final exams, midterms, and things I'm gonna have for each class and when they're gonna be due, so that way like during the school year I don't have to stress about it and I just have it all figured out already on my Notion. Let's play some music and do that. Last but not least, I wanted to create a realistic morning and night routine for school, which I'm thinking those are videos that I will most likely be filming throughout the school year. But I wanted to like make a plan for myself because it's gonna be really hard to balance school, work, and making weekly YouTube videos as well. And so the more I can plan out like a realistic set in stone morning routine and night routine, the more productive I'll be able to be. My goal is to wake up at like 6 a.m. every day, even on days where I know I don't have classes super early, just because I want to like make the most out of my productivity. And on days where like I don't have an early morning class, I can use that time to still study. I can use that time to like film or edit. Mondays, my goal is to wake up 6 a.m., do my morning routine, which will be like doing my skincare, my hygiene routine, getting ready for the day. I also want to specifically dedicate time to do some Bible studying and spend time with God. If you guys didn't know, I am a Christian and I think spending time with the Lord is so important. Mondays, I'm gonna be working on my videos. I'm planning on making Mondays like my editing days or my filming days, and making it also like my studying and prepping for classes day. Tuesdays, same thing. I'm gonna wake up at 6 a.m., do my morning routine, my Bible study, breakfast time. I'm gonna spend some time to like review and prep for my classes. Then I have my class at around 11. Then I have a bit of a break in between my classes, which I think I'll probably stay on campus and then study my second class of the day. And then I'll come back home, and then my last class of the day is gonna be virtual. So it's gonna be at like 7 p.m. So I think in my big break, I'll have dinner and I'll probably edit. Wednesdays, I only have one class in the morning. So again, I'm gonna wake up at 8 a.m., do my morning routine and everything. And then as soon as I'm done with that, I'll have to commute to my first class. I'll go to work because Wednesdays I gave them availability to work. Thursdays, I also gave them full availability for my job so they can like schedule me in as well. Fridays, wake up at 6 a.m., morning routine. Then I'm thinking of studying and prepping for classes in the morning before my class at 1 p.m. and after I have a bit of a break and then have my second class, and then I'll come back home, have dinner, and then I'm thinking of spending the rest of the evening on Fridays just editing and scheduling to upload. Saturdays are gonna be days I'm available fully to work. So again, I gave them full availability. I'm most likely gonna be working on Saturdays. And Sundays is gonna be my days off. And also it's like church day for me. Basically Sunday is like my Sunday reset routine. And then as for my night routine, I think I will be aiming to go to bed by like 10 or 10:30 p.m. Then take off my makeup, do my skincare, brush my teeth, put some cozy PJs on. We also have a projector in our bedroom. So every night I like to play a little cozy movie or cozy show, and then by like 10:30, 10:45 I'm ready to actually pass out. So I turn everything off and then I go to bed. But yeah, I really recommend for you guys to like brainstorm and think about what you want your mornings to look like, what you want your night routines to look like, and set like a realistic time for everything so that you can make the most out of every day and be as productive as possible. Now, before I end this video off, I wanted to talk about how I'm feeling about my last year of university. It's crazy to even think that I'm saying that. I'm so excited, but it's also a little bit bittersweet. I'm not planning on going back to school after this, and so part of me is a little bit like feeling a little sad about it, because I remember like senior year of high school. When I look back at it now, I'm like, oh my gosh, like that was such a nice time. Even though in the moment, like I was so done with school and I was over high school and I just was ready for like the next step of my life. And I know that's how I'm gonna feel like after this year. And so for the sake of like my little digital diary, I wanted to talk about like how I've been feeling and everything. I'm so excited. I can't wait to be done. I'm kind of ready to be done. It's taken me like 2 extra years basically to finish my undergrad, and the whole reasoning for that is because my mental health was really bad a couple years ago. I was so depressed and anxious all the time. Didn't know what I wanted to do with my life. I wasn't content with my program. I was actually studying political science as my major, and as passionate as I was first year getting into it, second and third year was actually really hard, and I realized like how much I hated politics. I tried to like specialize in something else by like minoring in other things. I tried minoring in public administration and I hated it. I immediately dropped it and I didn't want to do that. I just continued being just a political science major, and then I tried communications and I loved it. I fell in love with it, and it's honestly what made me want to start a YouTube channel. I can really see myself working in like marketing or media, social media, or like public relations. I can see myself doing that like in the future, and I feel like I also have like such a creative eye for that kind of thing too. I fell in love with it, and then I decided last year that I was gonna major in that. But because I was having such a hard time with political science, I needed to like get my grades up to then be able to switch my program, and then that's what took a little bit longer. The reason why then I've had to take another extra year is because like I couldn't get into all the communication courses that I needed because I wasn't made a major in it. So now that I am, I'm finally able to take the 4th year courses for communications. It's so complicated and it's such a long story to say, but that's basically why it has taken me like longer to graduate. And what I've learned is that we're all at different stages of life. We all go through different things. If you are currently a first year university student or going into university next year, like I just want you to know that it's okay if like not everything always works out in your plan or how like everyone else thinks it should be, because I was so set on like graduating within 4 years, having my job, all this stuff, and the pandemic hit. I was already robbed like 2 years because of the pandemic. I didn't really get to like experience the full university experience. And then not only that, but then I went through like so many ups and downs, and like just like my mental health was so bad. I didn't know what I wanted to do. And so giving myself extra time also allowed me to figure out what I like, my passion, and what I see myself doing in the future. Yeah, it's so much pressure for like an 18-year-old to figure out what they want to do for the rest of their life. So if it takes you longer to figure things out, you're not alone. And almost everyone I know has had to like take an extra year or two in university anyway. So you're really not alone if you're in the same boat. Or some of them, like, they had to like take an extra semester because they thought they were gonna graduate, and then turns out they needed to take an extra class. Some people like fail a class and then they have to like retake it. Like, you never know what's gonna happen. And so that's also why I've learned how to be okay when like things don't go as planned. Sucks as like a type A person. You know, at the end of the day, like, God's in control of everything. So there's a reason why it's taking me longer, and that's totally okay by me. I also think that this year, going into like my senior year, like really my last year of school, I'm like mentally ready for it. Like, I feel like if last year Sarah was gonna be done school, I don't think I would have been like mentally ready to like get out in the world and like start my full-on professional adult life, you know? But now, like, I'm like, okay, this is my last year. I'm getting ready for it. I'm mentally preparing for it. I'm kind of excited for a change, and I'm looking forward to start my adult era, like full-on adult era, which is crazy to even think about. I'm also gonna be turning 23 soon, but also I'm so ready to like enter a new era. I'm ready to like start this last year and be done with it and graduate, and I'm just so excited. Anyways, guys, I'm wishing you the best of luck for this school year if you are heading back to school, and if you are a senior heading into your last year of university, I'm wishing you the best of luck. Let me know in the comments what your plans are, if you're comfortable with sharing. I would love to know. You know, let me know in the comments how you're feeling about this upcoming school year. And with that being said, you guys, I will see you very soon with a new video. Bye.